This is the part of the course where I invite you to accept your sexuality exactly as it is, nothing less than absolute perfection. So often, sexuality is reduced to a desire to penetrate or be penetrated, leaving little space for the vast spectrum of pleasure, intimacy, and connection that so many people have the potential to experience. Your pleasure matters. Your intimacy matters, and your relationship with your body matters. Your connection with your partner matters. And if we can let go of this idea that sex is just one thing, that it's simply vaginal penetration, or that it must look a certain way, then we can begin to open our minds to something much deeper. Sex is so much more than a physical act. It is a celebration of creation, a recognition of the beauty and miracle of the person before you, and an expression of love exchanged through the body. Just as you and your partner might sit down and express your love through words, sex is another kind of conversation, one spoken through touch, expanding your perspective on pleasure. Many people have been conditioned to believe that anything outside of a narrow definition of what sex is wrong or dirty or shameful. And whether those messages came from family, religion, media, or cultural norms, they are simply stories. That's all. They're beliefs that have been passed down. And at some point, when you became exposed to that belief, there was a part of you that chose to believe it too. So if you noticed any resistance or shame or limiting beliefs arise around your own sexuality, I invite you to ask yourself this. How is this belief serving me? Does it support my joy, my intimacy, and my self-acceptance? Does it help me feel more connected to myself and my partner? Does it expand my ability to experience pleasure, or does it limit it? The truth is, nothing is inherently wrong or shameful about exploring the full spectrum of pleasure that your body is capable of. In fact, fully embracing your sexuality is an act of wholeness, and it's much easier to be in integrity when we fully accept who we are. And this does include kink. It does include different forms of play. So what I want you to understand is that every desire that arises within you is an expression of a part of you. It is much healthier to bring those desires into the light, to acknowledge, accept, and embrace them rather than suppress them and allow them to operate in the shadows. One of the ways people keep their sexuality hidden in the shadows is through porn. Rather than fully embracing and accepting their own desires, they watch others act them out in secrecy and often with a sense of shame. But instead of resisting or suppressing your sexuality, I want you to explore it. What turns you on? What makes you feel excited and playful and joyful? This is a powerful conversation to have with your partner, but only if both of you are committed to celebrating what comes up, normalizing open dialogue, and supporting each other in exploring your authentic sexuality. Many people experience kinky desires, but they suppress them out of fear or shame or the belief that good or pure sex must only unfold a certain way. But the only thing that makes sense, not pure or not healthy, is when agreements are not honored. And it's not the act itself that determines whether a sexual experience is healthy. It is the presence or absence of enthusiastic consent, clear communication, and mutual respect. Two people can have an incredibly fulfilling, deeply connected sexual dynamic that involves kink as long as both partners are fully informed, communicating well, and deeply attuned to each other. And on the other hand, a couple can have a simple, traditional penetration experience that is unhealthy or manipulative or coercive. And the key is enthusiastic consent. Enthusiastic consent means that the person saying yes truly desires what is happening, not because they feel pressured, not because they're afraid of how their partner will react if they say no, but because they genuinely want the experience. Some people give consent to sex every time they have sex. They say yes, but deep down they're only saying yes because they feel obligated. They're afraid that their partner will withhold love or affection if they don't agree. And these are subtle forms of manipulation that can lead to abusive sexual dynamics. Sex should never feel like an obligation because it is not. It should be an experience of mutual desire, pleasure, and joy. This is your invitation to reclaim your sexuality as something that belongs to you, not your partner, not to society's expectations, and not to shame or old conditioning, but to you. And it starts by giving yourself permission to embrace who you truly are and to recognize that who you are is inherently pure.